Hello, friends. Good day. My name is David Ezekiel. I'm a data analyst. And today I'm going to be walking you through how you can build a simple report for customer experience team. And they need a simple report built for them on SSRS on different customer data based on certain parameters. So you might encounter this kind of problem if you're a data analyst working in an organization and your CX team or different teams can reach out to you for different complaints, different reports, and what they need. So here I got a mail that says, "Hi David, our unit needs reports on customer information based on the following criteria for personalized emailing." One of the criteria is they're asking for this report should have the first name, last name, marital status, and different columns that they need for their report. Again, they are now saying that we also want to be able to filter by date. If possible, are we able to choose how to sort the first name, last name, and yearly income? And regards, Sarah. So you could have this kind of problem and you're a data analyst and you need this to be solved. One of the things you need to do is building this on SSRS would involve you to write certain queries on SQL. And if you have access to your organization database, and for these reports, I'm going to be using AdventureWorks. I have AdventureWorks installed in my server. I'm just going to be opening the databases that I have. So I'm going to be using AdventureWorks 2017, and this is what I'm going to be using. And when I open the tables, I see a number of tables that are going to help me to answer the questions that I need to answer. First and foremost, I would like to have this here, just have it somewhere close where it can be visible for me to make reference to. So the first thing they are asking for is first name. So by this, I know that I'm going to be needing a dimension table for customers. So if they need first name, marital status, and all these have to do with customer information, and this will exist in a table, including date of first purchase. Now, the product purchased is going to be on a different table. Country is on a different table, and qualification is on this table. So we have qualification already. So let's take this out. So I'm going to be needing about 4 different tables. Table for client, table for the product, table for country, as the case may be. So to simplify things, I've brought everything here. So these are the tables I'm going to be needing. 3 tables basically. The table that talks to customer, so the dimension customer table. I'm going to skip this for a while and let me talk about the dimension product table. It tells you the number of it gives you the different products that you have available in the organization. Sales territory gives you the location of each of these clients. Now, the fact table is what I'm going to be using to create connections across each of these tables. So using the fact table, I'm able to create the connection that is needed to connect all of these tables together. So if you're good with SQL, you can just join me as we write our script first. I'm going to come to master here, use the drop down, and I'll go to AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2017. So first, I'm going to use my select statement, and you just need to be very familiar with the database and the different tables in the database to be able to do this. So I select. The first one is the dimension table. I'm going to select this table. And for this table, I've given the table an alias of DC. So I'm going to say I select DC dots. Let me take my customer key. Okay. I'm going to go for the next one. I'll take DC dot first name. We'll take DC dot last name. The next is going to be DC dot marital status, DC dot email or gender first. Let's take gender, yeah. So DC dot marital status. We have marital status already, so let's just take the email address because the email address is part of the requirement. So I can create an alias for this. I just call it my email. For this, I'm going to call it create an alias and call this marital status. All right. For my last name, I'm going to separate it. I'm going to create an alias and call it last name. Sorry. Here, I'm going to call it last name. For this, I'm going to call it first name. First name. Let me just zoom in a bit to make this very, very clear. All right. I think this is much better. So I have a customer key, first name, last name. And what else do I need? From the requirements, I think I'm going to need the yearly income. So I'm going to join the next table. I'm going to join my fact table because it's from this fact table I'm going to do a lot of joining across different tables. So I'm going to say join this. So to understand the database, on this database, you have your primary key connecting to the foreign key. So client customer key appears as, so let me just select this to explain what I mean. So you can see customer key is appearing as a foreign key on the sales table. Same with each of these dimension products has a foreign key here, and same as the territory has a foreign key here. So that's how we are doing the joining around there. So when I join, what am I going to be joining against? I'm going to be joining on DC dot customer key is equal to, I give this an alias of FRS customer key. So I'm joining on customer key. The next table I'm going to add to this is going to be, where do I have yearly income? Do I have yearly income on this? So I have yearly income on this table. So I'm going to add this. I'll say DC.yearly income. So let's create an alias for that and call this yearly income. All right, so let's take this out. All right, so what is the requirement that I need? So I need the product. To get the name of the product, I'm going to now join the product table. So this is the product table. Let me quickly run the product table. If you want to understand this, is just to select the top 10, just to give me more time so it doesn't take so much time to run. That's what I'm doing here, selecting the top 10. The product table, I have my product key, and what's the name of my product? The name of my product has to do with English product name, so this is the name of my product. So I'm going to come to join this key, join this, join this, I give it an alias, I'll say on. So everything is now going to be joined to my fact table. So from the fact table, I create every relationship that I need to create. So it's going to be this FRS dot product key equal to, so my product table dp dot product key. All right, so product key. With this, I'm going to be adding the product. So, comma, DP dot English product name is the name of my product. And here I just give it an alias of product because they want to know the product the customers are buying. The next is I need to add my sales territory, which is the location. So for my sales territory, I'm going to add this, create a join on this. I'm going to say join this. On what? On SSRS dot sales territory. Sales territory key is equal to I give it an alias of DST dot sales territory key. Sales territory key. All right. So is there anything I'm missing? I could quickly run this and see what the output is. I'm just going to do execute. Okay, perfect. So I have my different tables. I think one more thing that they are requiring from us. No, this is French. This should be English, not French. bp.english product name. All right, so this is it. One more column we're going to add is, so they also need us to add the qualification. So the qualification is DC dot, I think their English qualification, English education is the qualification, yeah. So for the email campaign they want to do, they also want to know what is the qualification of this client that they are reaching out to. So it helps them in properly segmenting them to reach. So the final one is going to be the purchase date. So date of first purchase. It helps in the segmentation they want to do. So call this date of first purchase. Okay, with this, let's just run this quickly and see what we have. I think this is about it. This looks good. And let's confirm. So they said we also want to be able, so we've been able to take care of this first part to give them the different tables that they want. For sales, we've not added the sales territory, the sales location. So let's put it somewhere here and say DST dot sales territory country, and we call this country, and put my comma. So let's confirm we've been able to solve this. Yeah, so we have our date of first purchase, we have our product purchase, yeah, the product there, country is there, marital status, yearly income, email, and this is taken care of. The next is we also want to be able to filter by date. So you have two ways of doing this. You can either put your parameter on SSRS or you can put your parameter on your query. So let me do the latter method of having my parameter on my query and say where the date of first purchase, which is this, where this is between, let's give a parameter and say at begin date, right, and at end date. Okay, so I'm going to now go to SSRS. I have SSRS open here, and this is a fresh page of SSRS. And the first thing I'm going to do is to create my data source. I'm going to add a new data source to this. Click on create. I don't have any shared report model. I'm going to create a new connection. build. First, I'm going to change this to reflect Microsoft SQL Server. Then what's the name of my server? I'm going to come to here. And this is my server connection. I'm going to copy. So I'm doing Control C to copy. I go back here and I paste this here. I use a drop down to give me the list of the databases, and the database I'm using is Adventure World 2017, which is this. I test my connection. It's good. I click on OK. I could give it a name. I say this is, what should we call it? Clients underscore details. All right. And I click on OK. So I have my data source connected. So the next thing, I'm going to create my data set. So in creating my data set, I'm going to come back to my SQL Server. You could do Control A and Control C to just select all and copy. I go back here. I'm going to do right click and add my data set. For the data set, I'm going to call it, you could choose any name really, but what I'm going to call this, I'm going to say customer experience engagement, or you say email, yeah, let's call it email campaign. Email campaign. So I'll use this. This is client details. This is the data source I have created already. And I'm going to paste my query here that I've copied. And I paste the query. The moment I paste my query, I click on OK. Automatically, SSRS builds your parameters for you because of the parameters I have in the query. So if I don't have any parameter in the query, I can actually come here and create a parameter on the report itself. So when I right click here, I can do some editing on my parameter. One of the first thing I'm going to do is to change this to date time. I want to leave it as begin date. Or I could actually use whatever I want to use. But here, the prompt, I want to say choose begin date. Okay, so I click on OK. Here, I right click as well. You see this changes to date. Right click, I use my date time and I say choose end date. I click on OK. So these are really basic. And I'm going to write, let's give it a title. We'll call it email campaign, or we could even say clients details. So click outside of the canvas. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add my table. So we'll just report. I right click, insert. I want to insert a table. Pretty straightforward. I insert a table and I drag this to the edge so as to give me more flexibility in what I want to do. So the one first name, I don't need customer key, and the first name, I bring in my first name, last name, marital status, gender. So I can easily come here and paste, you see the blue tick, you release it. So same thing I'll do for email, same thing I'll do for yearly income, same thing I'm going to do for my product, same thing I do for country, I do same for qualification, I do same for, I've done qualification, date of first purchase. All right, do I have my products? Product is there, email is there, and all. So just a quick formatting of this. I'm just going to simply format this. So I'm holding my shift key and clicking on each of these just to have a quick format. I'm gonna make this dark in color. Then I change the text font. and say I want it to be white. You could also have your object view here. I could actually put my property pane. So with the property pane, I just tune it off because I use it just when I want to do some complex navigations or more navigations. But simple navigations, I just use the home page and do whatever formatting I want to do. I could actually make this bold, which looks good actually. And so I can increase this and so as to be able to increase this, which looks good. So for the first try, let's just try to see what our report looks like. So when I come here, I'm going to see that, where is it? Let me come back to this. You'll see that your report actually extends to 2010. So as to give me an idea of the kind of range I'm going to use, let me get the maximum dates, first purchase date that is here. So to do that, I'm going to select my from this. To do that, I'm going to say find maximum and minimum dates. So it helps me know what range to actually put in my parameter. I'm going to say select from view. However, when I come here, I'm going to say select this C dot dates of first purchase. But I don't need the date, I need the maximum, I also need the minimum. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say select min, open your brackets, close. I give it an alias of first purchase, first date rather. So I'm also going to say max BC dots. So I'm just going to copy this to make it faster. And I call it last date. So I can now run this report, this query, and you see the first date is 2010, the last date is in 2014. What it means is, when I come here, whatever I'm going to choose to get a report, I wouldn't be running anything below 2014 because that is the last date that I have. So to get, I can click on this, it gives me month. I can click on it again, it takes me to years. So I know my date starts from 2010. So I'm going to say I want to run for just a year, 2013, 1st of January to 2014. Let me see the actual date. It ended in 28th of January. So I'm going to say I want to run for 2014, 2014, January 28th. I say view report. So I have my report. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to do some formatting around here, and which my report is going to be good. One final thing is what they have in the request. If possible, are we able to choose how to sort the first, last, and yearly income? How I'm going to achieve this is to use interactive sorting, because I'm not going to sort these individually. So they say they want to be able to choose how to sort. So to use interactive sorting, I'm going to just click on these to be able to click on all of the tables. I right click on my first name. I go to text box properties, interactive sorting. I click on enable interactive sorting. To enable interactive sorting, I come to first name. First name, they want interactive sorting for first name. So interactive sorting for first name, I'm going to be using interactive sorting for my first name. And you click on OK. And for the last, I'm going to right click text box properties. I'm going to say interactive sorting. Enable interactive sorting for your last name. For yearly income, I'm going to right click text box properties, interactive sorting, enable interactive sorting for my yearly income. And I click on OK. So let's view this report to see how this come across. And don't forget, we are doing for 1 year period. So I'm going to go to 2013, January 1st to 2014, January 28th. And let's view our report. So this looks good. I'm able to sort alphabetically by first name. Alphabetically, bring it down, or I can use the last name to sort, or I can use the yearly income to sort. So thank you guys. This is basically how to do this, and you can just play around it. And hopefully in our next video, we are going to look at some other requirements. By the time we'll send it to the team might have some other things they want us to do in the report, some modifications, some advancement, improvement, and we'll just see how that plays out. So for now, bye. Thank you.